and Megalodon.
Hello, good morning. Welcome in to another episode of Good Morning Nasdaq right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. It is 8:55 in the morning. Time for a little bit of pre-market prep here on the 5th day of September, year of our Lord 2024, the 3rd day of September. I had a great episode of Wine Wednesday last night. Be sure to check it out. As always, if you are not there live, can you not hear me? You can definitely hear me.
Now I can.
Oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of an intro and you're talking to me like I'm not talking.
My
Someone let me know the audio is good, that you've heard Huddie's little interruptions. You've heard me talking. Someone let us know. But good morning. Good morning. We had a nice episode of Wine Wednesday last night. The boys and Tim Grittani, as always, answering great questions for us. And you can always check those out after the fact. If you can't be there live in person, you head on over to the Clover Trading YouTube channel, go to playlists, and you can see all of the live stuff that we do after the fact. And how we doing this morning, Huddie? We talked a little bit about how we feel about the week and the month so far last night. 3rd day here. Huddie's been kind of on a little bit of a mental roller coaster ride, breaking a few rules here, breaking a few rules there. How are you going to get back on track as it is early in the month, and not to let it get to you too much and let it go off the rails?
Well, there's a silver lining to the rules that I've broken. They've actually ended up saving me money in multiple cases. So I think in a lot of cases when I break rules, that's not the case. But this week I've been very little punished for breaking rules. And I just need to take that like a grain of salt and just get back to being, more disciplined and not give into FOMO in certain areas. So week's going great. I'm enjoying the week. Up a good amount of money, and want to keep it rolling until the end of the week and just be, take it easy. If it's there, take the trade. If it's not, just honestly close down the laptop and stop watching, because there's a lot of not good stuff out there. Like, we've seen a couple morning breakouts that did well, and then like any kind of long bias trade from then on out, like, I don't know, a lot of things have faded. So not really the market where I feel like I need to be here 24/7. And the longer that I am here, the more I'm going to give into that, boredom type of trade. And you never know when it's going to come. So goal this week is to take the trades in the morning and then get to the gym pretty quickly.
Wonderful. Awesome to see that you're out in nature today, in the grass with your fellow squirrels and other animals, bunny rabbits. There it is. Yeah, make sure that you hit that subscribe button here as you guys filter in. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We've actually been on quite a little uptick. You guys are doing well. Once we hit 5K, all of a sudden you guys started clicking the subscribe button. Make sure that you're subscribed so you never miss a live episode. We're live every day the market's open. We do some live trading on Wednesday mornings, as well as Wine Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. And make sure you have that notification bell turned on so you're always with us when we're talking live. We like to have a good time, have some entertainment, have some education, and get you prepped and ready to go for the market open. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button as well. Like to get that number up towards 50. You get it close to that, you won't hear a peep from me. Alrighty. Big gapper today. Multi 100% gapper, over 250% right now. It is a direction. You can look at it on your compass. And we're going to dive right into it in 3, 2, 5, 3, 2. EAST, East Side Distilling, wineries and distilleries. This is a nice industry for me and Huddie. United States, 1.61 million float, 4.8 million market cap. Let's just see what they're doing. They manufacture, acquire, blends, bottles, imports, exports, markets, and sells various alcoholic beverages. Spirit and craft, canning and bottling. They're hitting all the right notes, aren't they, Huddie?
Yeah.
News 13 hours ago is that they are going to merge with Beeline Financial Holdings, marking strategic expansion into fintech mortgage services. Let's see what they've recently done.
They're a duopoly. They do digital mortgage services, and they also create craft spirits.
Is that a little bit too much going on?
I mean, look, Dom, if we owned a business, if we owned a second business, I think we would have to make some craft spirits too.
I guess. So we'll let it slide there. Overall risk is high here. Offering ability says it's low. The company has 0 months of cash left based on negative 0.57 mil quarterly burn. You see anything here? I don't see anything registered that's
So
going
I'm
to
just
come into play.
this is more of like again, like these are not my favorite types of gappers when they're gapping based off fundamental news that affects their stock. And again, like for me in small cap, everything is guilty until proven innocent. So I believe that all of these companies are absolutely horrid. Even no matter what I read online, I still believe it's kind of horrid, and that it's long term, it's not going to be great. But sometimes these like restructuring situations, do they have a turnaround effect? It's an answer I really can't. It's a question I can't answer. So that's why I just don't like them as much, because I don't really know what's going on. And instead of trying to like really understand like the value, I just try to focus on the things that I do understand, because there's so much that I do and there's so much that I don't. We just separate those two. When reading this PR, it says the strategic move will effectively wipe out all debt from East Side's books. So that's good, and provide Kraft with additional capital for growth. So they're getting some money to grow and they're wiping out all their debt. Like that sounds bullish to me, but it's up 270%. So like, how bullish can it really be? I mean, like, I don't think all of a sudden like they're gonna have their craft spirits at my local Bevmo.
What's a Bevmo?
Are you joking?
Bevmo?
Oh my god.
What is it?
I'm not even good. It's a liquor store.
Is it? Well, I mean, you live all over the world, so how am I supposed to know what part of the world is where it is?
It's all over the world.
It says there's one in California. Let's go to Bevmo near me. I don't think there's one near me.
Yeah, that sucks. It's a great store.
That's what we have party stores for. You get your case of beer, your lottery tickets,
Oh my god.
pack of smokes if you need one, some corn for the deer.
Living the life.
All right. So let's take a look at the daily chart for EAST, up 255%. Like I said before, looks like it went straight up right at the end of after hours yesterday, from 70 cents all the way to $1.65. Opened up this morning. I don't have 4 a.m. print, so maybe it went higher than this. I have highs in the low threes. Is that where you have? Is there highs higher than highs?
There's highs higher than highs.
What's the highs?
This ticker has been trading for a long time.
Today.
Oh, today, 3.
Okay, so threes are the highs. Looks like it's in a consolidation pattern. Clearly the biggest gapper of the day right now. Nothing's even close. I feel like we've had recently just a couple of around 100% gappers each day, and right now we kind of have one taking the tap off. And new highs on the year. Let's continue to go back, and that's not going to help us. Kind of see what we're going into. Got some resistance in the $6 to $8 area from 2023. And that's really all we're working with from long-term perspective, top left to bottom right. Long-term fader, recently near lows on the chart. Kind of tried to pop recently on really light volume from the 70-cent area up towards $1. You kind of see that low float nature where it can just go 30-40% and then not really have to do any volume and still not really making a difference on the chart. So this is one in which looks like it's going to be quite a fast mover out of the gate. We'll see if that 1 million float really holds up. But this is something from a long perspective, not really all that interested in, because it's already up 260% and there's resistance overhead. Not that I'm too worried about 2023, but I do expect if we're up 300, 400, 500% into those levels, that it's going to have a struggle into these wicks from previous. There's not a lot to go off of in terms of gap and crap behavior. These runs were on very low volume. The tops were put in on low volume, and I don't really see gaps on these days. I see more runs. So there's not a huge precedent here. So it's kind of a fresh chart with not a lot going on, not a lot of history, and as Huddie mentioned, more real news. Even if you dive into their most recent news, a lot of it is earnings based or financial results. I don't see a lot of dilution. They had a debt for equity exchange. It looks like a lot of real news, which can sometimes mean nothing. Other times make it hang around a lot longer. But up 260%, my initial perspective. In a time like we're at right now, what were the gappers yesterday? One of them squeezed. Was that one main runner, along with WINT. WINT was a tiny float that faded, and was pulled out of the gate and then squeezed some faces off all the way into the close. I think it's lower this morning. But so kind of a hit or miss so far this week with the gappers. What is the East going to do, Huddie?
Really, really hard to say. I think, again, like overall trajectory of market and like if I'm looking at it from a macro perspective, I still think this is a market that heavily favors fading stocks that are gapping up this large. But like, how much does it fade, or where's the intrinsic value of this whole deal? Like, and none of that stuff I can answer. So it's anyone's game. If there's like, it's not my game to be kind of guessing whether this one's going to hold up or not. I'd probably just kind of trust the stats that I've been seeing. But if this one like kind of is wonky, I kind of expect it to be, just because it's just kind of weird news for me.
Weird news, weird industry, not weird industry, but not really relevant right now.
I feel like this is one that's going to like have a big green day and then get super illiquid and then just start like breaking new highs like as the days go on, and like it's going to be completely unplayable.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Generally, we don't see that though in 1 mil floats. Usually when we see that, it's a higher flow, and I wouldn't be surprised a lot of the ways, but you don't overthink this too much when you go into the morning, right? It's more of just data and letting it play out.
Yeah.
So that is East, up 263% right now. We'll see where it's at towards the end. But like I said, kind of consolidating, nice morning spike from the 2s to the 3s. Doesn't really feel 1 mil floaty to me, just based off of this pre-market action. It's not like whipsaw. It's very slow and controlled. It took hours to get from 2 to 3, which is what, a 50% move. So we'll see at the open how wild it is and what kind of volume comes in. Already done 35 mil this morning, so it's not abnormally crazy, but looks like it is going to be number one watch for most people coming out of the gate, whether you are a gap and go buyer, a gap and crap reversal, a gap and crap original. This is where the eyes are going to be this morning, especially in a market that is overall kind of slow right now, not a lot on watch. So the gappers, I do think, is where a lot of the eyes are every single morning. Alrighty. Also, side note, Mr. Huddie, almost no one in the chat has heard of Bevmo.
Really?
Yes, never
Maybe it's
heard
just
of
a California thing.
Never heard of Bevmo, mate. Never heard of Bevmo, and I'm in New Jersey.
Have you heard of Pink Dot?
No.
Not Pink Dot. What's the alcohol delivery company?
DoorDash?
No. I think it's Pink Dot.
We have yet to get a yes on the Bevmo.
No way.
No one's heard of it.
What about Pink Dot?
That just sounds more dirty than anything.
Maybe it's not Pink
Pink
Dot.
Dot style boutique plus delivery services.
No.
You're still talking about California, dude.
GoPuff. You heard of GoPuff?
No.
I think they bought out Bevmo. They were like a delivery service, and they like bought out Bevmo or something. Bevmo bought them out, and it was super successful.
I'm just proud of you guys for not knowing stuff that Huddie thinks everyone should know. So it's honestly, regardless of what goes on in the market today, I think that's a win for the good guys. And and we're just going to keep it rolling. Also, thank you guys for the 61 likes so far. 140 you watching, 62 likes. You guys are the best, and we love spending every morning with you. Tim Grattani in the chat. Good morning, Nasdaq. He was here last night. Kind of let us know that he doesn't do a whole lot of pre-market prep or overnight watch list building. So he's here to get his tickers for the day. EAST, Grattani. That's all you need to know. I think he'll make a fantastic bag hold. All right. Next gapper. I guess I'll let Huddie kind of point us in the direction. We got a couple 50% movers this morning with HOTH and APLD. Do you want to go over any of them? We got 5 or 6, 7 minutes right now.
Yeah.
You want to take questions? You want to go through one of those that maybe you see something a little more, and one of them's a dollar stock. I know you've been trying to avoid a lot of those. And then APLD is a almost $5 stock.
Well, they're both only 50% gappers, which doesn't really excite me with anything really. But what I like about APLD and Hoth, and I'll always say this, like I like trading tickers that I have experience on, that like I kind of know what they've done in the past. I've been involved with them before. Like I have
Which
some
one?
vague understanding of their fundamentals.
Hoth?
And Hoth and APLD are both like things that I've traded before. Whereas East, like I don't really ever remember trading this one. So either way, though, both of those don't really interest me unless they get like another 40% or so in the pre.
Hoth
Then I'll
up
get it.
62, pushing a little right now.
It is pushing a little, but also in that
120
dollar range
is
that I don't like, as you allured to. Always a little bit of a
any
head.
difference though that Hoth is running into a gap and crap resistance level $1.30?
Yeah, I would say that I think that should act as overhead resistance. We have like kind of a previous example nearby of a lot of volume being traded and it fading the whole day, closing rather weak off the gap up. So if that's any type of precedent, like maybe this, weakish gap up will also close weak. For me, it's like there's not enough range here for me to really get interested in the first place. Like if it, goes down 20 cents, like I'm not going to make a lot of money. So
If you took 3
that's
million
why.
shares though.
Huh?
If you took 3 million shares.
If I took 3 million shares, it would probably be the best bull case.
Okay, that's HOTH. I went into the news. They just got basically positive results on a trial. I don't even see a phase or anything.
They have some warrants at $1.50. 3.7 million warrants at $1.50 from back in March 2024. So that's something to kind of be aware of, I suppose. What's the news?
Positive trial data.
Which phase?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say it in the headline, so I don't think it's like one case. I think a 59-year-old female undergoing treatment.
Yeah, if I had to guess, the more I'm familiar with the ticker, probably the worse they are, because that means like throughout time.
It's one patient. It's a one patient.
They do this. Yeah, that's not great. What was one the other week where they injected a rat with ketamine? That was my favorite.
Did I miss that one?
Yeah, I think
we would have had fun on that one.
Yeah, the news was like, we injected a rat with ketamine and it responded great. I was like, wow.
You never know. Okay, let's take a quick look at APLD up. Why are you not working? Buttons. APL. I like this. I don't want this anywhere near anywhere. I know. Applied blockchain. So it's a crypto kind of simp. Daily chart kind of shows me that this isn't a small cap runner. Floats 125 mil, 780 mil market cap. Looks like it's one that just doesn't really rip or fade. It's in a pattern of uptrend or downtrend. And if you ain't holding for a while, it's hard to really capture any big picture move. So for those reasons, I'm immediately out.
Yeah, definitely not the type of stock that I'm looking at for any type of day trade. And you nail it on the head. It just has that look to it where it's more of a real company. It doesn't really trade like a penny stock would. And lots of overhead here, middle of the range. Like I wouldn't know what to do with this in a million years. And I remember it spiking back in April, May, and July. And some of the people that I respect on Twitter were calling it an absolute scam and swinging it short from up there. So they turned out to be right in the short run. So I would probably just kind of, I don't know. I don't want to touch it long. I'm anti-long.
I'm anti the stock. Also, side question: if we were on the Shark Tank panel, who do you think you'd be? Barbara?
The girl, yeah, for sure.
Am I Mr. Wonderful?
You can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah, I'll be him. Okay. Cortani wants to know long or short run East. He says he's willing to go all in.
Okay. I say short.
I will not do that over the interwebs. The trade floor says Huddie, a diva for real.
Sometimes.
We all can be a little bit of a diva. Someone asked, did we trade BNGR yesterday? Wait, wasn't it? That's
Energy.
not BNRG. I'm like, that sounds more like banger.
This is why we name them. So,
yeah. So immediately I know. Yeah, we traded Binergy. Well, I don't know if they didn't. You could have caught it live if you wanted to. We were live trading on the interweb. right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. Bought it in the 120s on this reversal. Sold it in the 160s. It was a really nice little reversal. To Emilio, Randy Walker says, any chance you golf today? Negative, Ghost Rider. My kid's like 7 days old. I don't think I can swing it.
Oh, that was a pun.
What'd I say?
You said I don't think I can swing it.
Okay, gosh. What a start to the day. Wow, that's funny. Jenica wants to know, are we watching CNFR holding 130 support yesterday and high of the day 1 at Dom? I am. Well, I'm not watching, but I have a third eye on it. Oh, yeah. Well, the reason I'm not watching it is because today is technically the first red day. So I know right off the bat you're probably a primarily long bias trader. Because us long bias, when we can't short, we just get excited for the next potential breakout or first screen or whatever. It's really imperative we just sit back and wait for it to develop. Let me look at the daily chart here for you guys. And this is really technically, it's green on the day right now, but if it were to go red, it'd be the first time it's red in multiple days. So it's more of, I need to let today play out before I have any sort of opinion going forward. And that's why it's not on my watch list or anything, because it hasn't even had its first red day. Patience, Grasshopper. Binergy. Oh, gosh, you guys with your names. Sith, Saba, Laseko, Kasani. Well, that's dope. I traded Hoff already today, long at 98 cents, out at 116. That's a small piece to move one should aim for in these types of one-day runners, in my opinion. Yeah, if it were that easy, I'd do it too. But I couldn't find that piece of that move, and I definitely don't want to be sitting here in pre-market trading it. But congratulations, 98 cents. I don't know where you bought it on a pullback. Probably right here would be my guess, into the previous highs. Selling into the strength. Very nice move.
Catch me never doing that.
Kesh, yeah, you want to see a real gambler? That's me. Like, if I start doing that, and I've done it, there's been periods where I'm like, I'm going to figure out these day ones. I'm going to show up every morning at 5 a.m., and I'm going to find the one that goes up 200%, and I'm going to be in it every day. And it didn't work. Spoiler alert. Couldn't figure it out. And I never have. Never have. P Daddy Slim, you guys are rolling with the cool names this morning. Also said earlier they're going to short Bevmo stock. Yeah, they are obviously not making their way around the country, so not doing a great job exposure-wise.
It's a great establishment.
You'll have to take me there when we do the San Diego boot camp.
You evil.
I love how we're talking like, oh, dude, you really got to show me that liquor store.
It's like Disneyland.
Someone in our own room, Yamiro, ABC liquor is bigger. I've been to ABC in Florida. It's like fine.
Not the same.
It's fine, but I mean, I'd rather, be able to get a Slim Jim, maybe even a slice of pizza. That's what a party store is about, okay? Have you been to like Lickbo's in Canada? In the beer store in Canada?
Well, who would know what that was?
Those ones, I thought you lived in Canada. Are there different rules per province or whatever?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they call it Lickbo's, LCBOs. It's like liquor and beer, and then the beer store only has beer. And you can't buy like liquor or beer from like gas stations. It doesn't make any sense. P Daddy Slim says deer season coming up. Dom, you got any donkeys on cam you're watching? The child's kind of throwing a wrench in my hunting season, but I did just get some. My dad put some cams up at our deer camp, which is a week in November, and we just started getting some bucks on camera. So I'll fill you guys in, let you know. Hopefully I can get out there more than I want this fall. Best time of year: football, hunting, trading picks back up. Really is the best time. Thomas asks, is San Diego happening? It's happening at some point. We have yet to pick out a date, but it is going to be, the next one is going to be on the west coast. West coast, worst coast. Write it down. Bevmo. Double Aaron says, you can as of today in Ontario. Like what? You can buy at gas stations now? No way. Like as of today, I say that. Like that's how wrong I am. If I say no to a stock, buy it. If I say you can't buy it at a gas station, today's the day they pass a law. Like, what the heck? What? How random is that? Maybe that's a sign that East is going to squeeze like crazy today because it is in that industry.
It might.
All right. Hey, remember this moment if EAST is up 4,000% later today. But we're going to wrap that up right there. I think we had fun this morning. I think we had a good time. 76 likes, 150, 80 watching right now. Hey, Thank you for being here. But guess what? The week's not over. Keep pushing. Keep
Not
grinding. We'll be here
Keep
tomorrow.
grinding.
We'll be here live tomorrow, 8:45 a.m. for another episode of Good Morning Nasdaq. If you are 4-leaf Clover, you can head on over to the room right now because Kyle's going to hit you with a Good Morning webinar. What do you get? Live trading webinar. Maybe Huddie will pop in. Maybe I will pop in. I don't know. But if you want access to that, where we do multiple webinars every week, you have access to video lessons as well as everything else. Watch list, trade alerts, the room. Clovertrading.io is the place for you. Reach out to support if you have any questions. We're going to head on over to the room right now and have just an absolute amazing, amazing day. Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you for showing up today and have a wonderful Christmas.